Hello friends, welcome to the class of Cost and Works Accounting. This is a disclaimer statement of this video. In previous videos, we have already seen and advantages of cost accounting and limitations of cost accounting. In this video, we are going to see some basic concepts of cost accounting. So let us start with the first basic concept, that is cost. So what exactly cost means? The CIMA London has already been defined. What do you mean by cost? The definition is the amount of expenditure, actual or notional, incurred on or attributable to a specified thing or activity. So this is the definition given by the CIMA London. So in this particular definition, two things are important. That is amount of expenditure. So you can see in bracket it is mentioned actual or notional. So actual meaning you all know actually which is incurred. But what about the notional? Notional means assumption. You assume that you have incurred some expenditure. Now you will be wondering that how we can assume that we have incurred the expenditure. But this thing we are doing from our 11th standard. Just remember, while solving your problem of financial accounting, that is final account of financial accounting, in adjustment you were finding you may find that there is a adjustment that provide depreciation for 10%. What you generally do, you pass the entry, or to be specific, you give the effect, right? One effect, you provide, you show the depreciation to the profit and loss account, and that much amount you reduce from the asset side with that particular asset. That effect you give, right? But actually this providing depreciation is nothing but a notional expenditure. You assume that you have incurred the expenditure, but generally, or we can see, as we can spend some amount for purchases, have we paid any amount for depreciation? No, not at all. We have not given a single rupee out of our pocket as an expenditure for depreciation, but still we consider that we have incurred the expenditure, and this is nothing but the good example of notional expenditure. So two types of expenditure: one, actual, when you pay from your pocket, and second, notional, when you assume that you have incurred some expenditure. So and it is attributable to a specified thing or activity. So this actual expenditure or notional expenditure may be related to anything or any activity. So cost, nothing but the expenditure. The second concept is costing. Again, ICMA London has defined what is mean by costing. So costing is the technique and process of ascertaining the cost. Suppose in MCQ there may be a question, the costing is dash dash. You may find the all options, technique and process, or they may give certain other words for this. But this is a technique and process, okay, by which you can ascertain the cost. That is our objective, one of the objective, ascertainment of cost. We can do that with the help of technique or process which is given in costing. Our next concept is cost accounting. So in cost accounting, again definition has been given by ICMA London. Let us read the definition. Cost accounting is the process of accounting for cost from the point at which expenditure is incurred or committed to the establishment of its ultimate relationship with cost center and cost unit. So few important words are included in this particular definition. So let us see one by one. So first thing is that it is a process of accounting. Process of, we have already seen in our first video the accounting process. Okay, if you recall, so it starts with recording of transaction, then ledger posting, then summarizing, then preparation of financial statements. So in cost accounting, it is a process of accounting for cost. And another important thing, that is the point at which expenditure is incurred. So the moment you incur some expenditure, from that moment the recording starts. And what ultimately we need to do? We need to establish a relationship. We need to establish a relationship with whom? Two important concepts once again. One, cost center, and second is the cost units. Now what this cost center and cost unit means, we are going to see in this particular video in the upcoming points. Our next concept is cost accountancy. Again, a definition is given by the ICMA and I am going to read the definition for you. The application of costing and cost accounting principles, methods and techniques to the science, art and practice of cost control and ascertainment of profitability. It includes the presentation of information derived therefrom, the purpose of managerial decision making. So it's a good, quite big definition, but it consists of all the things. So first, and we'll see in part what is there. So it is nothing but the application, means use of that particular thing, that is called application. Suppose you wanted to open a tape recorder, okay, or you wanted to open your bike. What you should have, you should have a screwdriver. So you can apply the screwdriver and you can open it. So getting things you can done through the screwdriver. So this cost accounting, it is nothing but the application of what? Costing and cost accounting. These are the two concepts we just saw. In costing, there is a tools and technique, and in cost accounting, it is expected that you should do the accounting process. Okay, so these two things are combined in the cost accountancy. And for what? To the practice of cost control and ascertainment of profitability. These are the two important objectives to be fulfilled by the cost accountancy, that is cost control and the ascertainment of profitability. So this is done for whom? Of course, the management. Management has to take many decisions for management of the company, and this thing will be helpful for the decision making process. So if you see the minutely the concept, then the scope of these all four concepts, that is cost, cost accounting, costing, cost accounting and cost accountancy, the scope is increases from cost, then costing, then cost accounting, and last it is cost accountancy. So next point, next concept is cost unit. So for measurement of the things, we generally use many measures, many yardstick to measure the things. For example, you go to purchase milk. It is in either half liter or 1 liter, 2 liter, 5 liters, right? But it is measured in liters. You cannot go and ask the vendor or that shopkeeper that give me 1 kg of milk. No. There is a specific measurement given, right? If you wanted to go to buy sugar, you cannot ask, give me say 1 liter of sugar. No, it's not a liquid form, right? It is a solid form. There is a specific measurement, like either kg, 1 kg, 2 kg, 5 kg, 10, 25, 50, 100. But when this is a solid thing, but when you go to purchase a gold, then you cannot say that tell me the rate of 1 kg gold. No, there the measurements are done in different forms, that is per gram, right? Or per 10 gram. The rate is generally given in per 10 gram. So this is nothing but the cost unit where you measure the things. The definition is already given by CIMA. What is the definition? Let us see that. A unit of product or service in relation to which costs are ascertained. So it may be a product or it may be a service. For example, if you wanted to relate the automobile, the cost of automobile, then you can relate it to the number of automobiles. If you count the cost of a bricks, then you need to consider in thousands. If you wanted to use the chemicals, then the cost unit may be either liter or gallon. For electricity, it is kilowatt per hour, that is kWh. For gas, it is cubic meter. For steel, it is ton. And for hotel or hospital, it is room per bed per person. Now, see, in automobile, chemicals, gas, steel, brick, electricity, whatever I have given over here, there are only one measurement. But if you see the hotel or hospital, there are two features considered: room per bed per person. Okay, so what this is, so cost unit again divided into two parts. Single cost unit, when you consider only one feature like automobile number or chemical liter. But when you consider two features at a time, that is called composite cost unit. So for example, if you have transportation business, then cost per run per kilometer, right? That is again one of the composite cost unit. And next, our concept is cost center. Now, what do you mean by cost center? Again, definition is given. I just read definition. A location, person, or item of equipment, or a group of these, for which cost may be ascertained and used for the purpose of control. So here in this particular definition, three things are given. It may be a location, it may be a department, division, section, or process. It could be anything. Or it may be a item of equipment. It may be a machine, right? Or it may be a person, for example, a salesman, or it may be a production manager, or it may be a HR manager, or it may be a foreman, or it may be a supervisor, anything else. Okay, so if you are calculating the cost in relation to these things, any one of these or a group of these, then it is called the cost center. Okay, for example, all the expenses incurred by a particular regional sales manager, then under that maybe advertisement expenditure, then traveling expenditure, then free samples in expenditure, anything, all will be clubbed together, and then it is used for the purpose of cost control and cost reduction. So there are certain types of cost centers. Let us see one by one. We'll see one by one. First, that is production cost center. Now, production cost center means where actually your production, you do your production. So, whatever expenditure you incur over there, that will be your production cost center. You have to accumulate all the cost which is related to the production. Next is the service cost center. So, for production, for example, you produce in factory, but that is not only sufficient. You have to incur some other expenditure. You have to keep an office, right, to manage the things. So whatever expenditure you incur for maintaining that office, that comes under the service cost center. Next, personal cost center. Here you have to identify the person, and then you can arrive at the expenditure or cost incurred. Next, it is impersonal cost center. It is in simple word, which is not a personal cost center, it is impersonal cost center. So it may be a production cost center, it may be a service cost center. It comes under the impersonal cost center. Next, it is operation cost center. Now, operation means any operation is carrying out or some carrying out of similar activities, then it is called operation cost center. You need to calculate the cost accordingly. And the last, that is a process cost center. When there are specific process or continuous sequence of operations are there, that is called process cost center. Okay, and then you need to arrive the cost accordingly. So these are the types of cost centers. So thus we complete our objective, that is to study the basic concepts of cost accounting. This is a disclaimer statement. For more videos, you can visit to YouTube channel Rayat Knowledge Bank. Thank you very much.